Now, I want to show you the weekly transits, shall we? Here we are. And yes, we have September 17th, we have the lunar eclipse in Pisces. I did a whole video on that, so we'll touch on it a little bit, but not that much, okay? September 18th, Mercury is going to oppose Saturn. On the 19th, the Sun will trine Uranus. And September 20th, the Sun is going to oppose Neptune. So just when you think the Sun is doing great, then the next day is like, no, okay? Now, on the 21st, Mercury is going to square Jupiter, the Sun is going to square Pluto, and the Sun will be in 29 degrees. So it gets a little negative a little bit towards the end of the week. Okay, September 22nd, Venus will be in 29 degrees. I will explain what that means if you do not know what that means. And then Venus will also square Pluto, and then the Sun will enter Libra. We have fall equinox, and Venus enters Scorpio. Okay. So that is what we have for the transits. So I'm going to break them down, all of them down, okay, for us. And we are going to actually, there we go. I'm trying to get better. Now let's take Trump off and let's talk about these current events, what we, not the current events, the transits and what we have for them in regards to us. Now, we have this lunar eclipse in the sign Pisces. I did a detailed video on this. I pulled tarot on it, and I also did horoscopes. Okay. I also talk about the other eclipse that will be happening in October. So look at that. I discuss everything. Okay. But remember, there is some emotional healing or releasing. It could be something with your intuition, your psychic awareness. There's about endings and letting go whenever you're dealing with Pisces. Also, compassion and maybe reflecting on some boundaries that are not clear. Okay, revelations, there's a spiritual awakening. This could also impact your creativity and your imagination, and it could also help you with some confusion, some escapism. Pisces represents addictions. Pisces represents the crazy people, and Pisces also represent homelessness. Okay, so I just want you to know all that: confusion, escapism, imagination, the dreamer, avoidance, reevaluating your path or your beliefs, healthy boundaries, compassion with self-care, limiting beliefs, okay, and unhealthy habits, toxic relationships, okay, spiritual and emotional growth, meditation, spiritual practices, connecting with your inner self, okay, psychic sensitivity, intuitive insights, past traumas. You could be healing them, and you could be working on forgiveness, and you could be moving forward. Emotional release, old wounds, your old fears, emotional baggage that no longer serves you. All that you get with this Pisces, this eclipse in Pisces. Okay, I do believe the other eclipse will be stronger for a lot of people. This is really going to affect all the mutable signs, which are the Pisces, the Sagittarius, and the Geminis. Okay, because it will be squaring that energy. Now we have on the 18th. On the 18th, we have Mercury, which is going to oppose. Where is our Mercury here? Mercury in the sign of Virgo is going to oppose Saturn in the sign Pisces. This is at 15 degrees. 15 degrees is a critical degree, is right at the midpoint. Okay, so it's like, what am I doing here? What's going on? We need to make a decision. Okay. Not thinking long term is what you get with this aspect. Serious conversations are not being discussed. There could be some worrying. You could be very pessimistic, very negative, limiting your narrow perceptions, cynical, distrustful, or maybe I'm too serious. Like, come on, like, chill. Okay. Tensions between your logic and your intuition. There could be critical thinking that meets some restriction, or critical thinking that's about the long term, and you're thinking that it's way too far off to even to achieve. And I don't want to say achieve because that's more Mars, but to even think of, okay, or to communicate about. Challenging conversations or delays with some challenging conversations, or delays with some conversations. Balancing practicality with compassion, reflection, and reevaluation. Saturn is retrograding, and you may be revisiting some old patterns, some old beliefs, or some structures, questioning the limiting beliefs and refining how you communicate, reassessment of some plans, some projects, or some goals, because you have that retrograde. Now, this also could be dealing with some mental health and some compassion, mental fatigue or self-doubt or anxiety, self-care, and self-compassion. It's all important with this aspect. And whenever you have an opposition, that means you just need to find a perfect balance and meet in the middle, because it's like a seesaw effect. Okay. So yeah, there is some potential for some constructive criticism, be aware of that, because that Virgo energy gets really critical and likes to critique, and it wants perfection. So maybe just be open to some feedback and create a more realistic and structured approach to your goals. Okay. Now, far as the worldly issues, okay, what happening around the world, and I did say what happens around the world with the eclipse. I give more detailed in those videos, so check those out. But with this aspect, you can have misinformation. Why doesn't that sound right? You could be misinformed about some communication here, or there could be some communication breakdowns, delays in global trade, because Mercury does represent a trade and commerce, or maybe supply chains, challenges in healthcare or public health, legal obstacles here, okay? Economic stagnation, financial uncertainty, crisis in education and information, rise of the mental health too, because we are dealing with that Mercury and we're talking about health, mental health, okay? Escalation of conflicts and being very diplomatic. There could be a challenge between that. What else do we have? Difficulties in implementing technology and infrastructure projects, increased censorship and control. I don't like being controlled, so I don't like that one, okay? But I just want you to know all of the things that could possibly happen with this aspect, okay? And we do have it at 15 degrees. That is in Aries. Let me see, 13, 14, 15. That is communication. So communication is going to be really big with that. Everything dealing with Mercury energy will be more big, okay? Now, on the 19th, we have the sun is going to trine Uranus. Now, this is positive. This is also a Earth element here. So the sun is in a sign Virgo. It's going to trine. What am I looking at? It's going to trine Uranus in the sign Taurus. Okay. So this is an earth element, and this is giving us probably some tangible results. Okay. I do want to know, that this is very, very positive. Okay. We might be feeling this. Could we be feeling this now? Could be feeling it coming up. Okay. It's going to give us some tangible results. It's going to give us great surprises. Maybe we will be feeling a little free, doing things differently, and it works out for us, working on your future. Technology and communication while trying to achieve things will probably shine. Okay. Or you will be producing something through technology or social media. So you'll be very innovative and approaching things with a more practical matter, sudden insights or breakthroughs, embracing change and stability, boost of creativity and innovation, because Uranus is going to be different. Okay. Innovative thinking, technical upgrades, work routines, personal finance, all that could be boosted. Freedom and self-expression, support for reform and progressive change, grounded adaptability, and revisiting and reworking plans, because we are dealing with a retrograde with the sign. With Uranus is retrograding, just so you know. The retrogrades with all these outer planets here they're all retrograding, so there is a lot of redoing and revisiting for a lot of things, which I was talking about Candace Owens and how this is a repeated thing for her. Okay. Now, what could be happening around the world? Because that could be happening to you, but around the world, there could be some innovative solutions happening and breakthroughs in health and wellness, revolutionary changes in maybe our food production, maybe something with social media, maybe something with communication, something with technology, maybe some technical advances that improves our daily life, financial reforms and economic stability, progressive social reforms and community initiatives. Okay. Creative and innovative approaches to problem solving, like science, technology, policy making, global cooperation, maybe some global challenges, and there's some new ideas. Advancement in education and learning technology, empowerment of small business and entrepreneurs. Now, Uranus and Taurus encourage financial independence and entrepreneurship, while Virgo brings the eye to detail into improving things. So this could lead to a boost of small businesses, maybe a startup, and local economic growth. And this is also in, let me see the degrees, 27 degrees, and 27 4, 5, 6, 7. This is, yeah. So this is something with learning. This is something early beginnings, like early education as well. Something in the community, something with your siblings too. Okay. So that is what we have. Very positive, you guys. Really work with that energy. It's going to bring some tangible results. I love it. I love earth energy. I don't have much earth in me. So when it comes, I'm sucking that up. Okay. Now on the 20th is when it gets okay. Now the sun on the 20th is going to oppose Neptune, and the sun is in the sign Virgo. Neptune is retrograding and it's in the sign Pisces. Okay, so when you get this, and I do want to say that this is going to affect all the mutable signs. So we're talking about the Sagittarius and Geminis. And if you have a moon in Gemini, if you have a Venus in Sagittarius, understand these placements could be affected. Okay, so when you have these oppositions, when you have this opposition, and this is at 28 degrees, 28 degrees is, let me see, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 is a Cancer degree. So this is dealing with the mom, is dealing with women, is dealing with home, could be dealing with United States of America, just so you know. And yeah, okay, so and where you feel safe. This could be an issue. Okay. Now, with this opposition, and it's a mutable opposition, meaning that there is change, and it's not, this change is not working. It's not seeing eye to eye. But with this opposition, you can have secrets and illusions that are not working out for the best. There could be self deception, there could be escapism, crazy people, suicides, drugs. It could all be causing this seesaw effect that can't be seen eye to eye, lack of purpose or direction, potential for psychic inflation, struggle between reality and illusions, dreams, spirituality. This unseen things could be causing some confusion, potential for deception and misunderstandings, challenges in decision making, balancing logic with intuition, tendency towards escapism or being overwhelmed, like you have anxiety and so you're escaping reality. Okay, overindulgence, addiction, avoidance of responsibility, creative inspiration versus being practical and having challenges with that. So, your imagination and your artistic expression, your spiritual exploration, the focus of the structure needed to be creative ideas into reality may not be coming into reality, is really what I'm trying to say. Okay, so this creative inspiration, you're like, I'm very inspired, but for some reason it's not coming out. There aren't any tangible results. Okay. Health and wellness awareness. This could bring some awareness because you are having a seesaw effect because you're neglecting. Maybe there's some confusion or some denial. So you want to pay attention to your body, first of all, and avoid substances that could cloud some judgment. Okay, and maintain a balanced approach for the physical and the mental health. Spiritual opportunities for spiritual growth and clarity, inner reflection, examine the illusions, maybe face the fears, and have clarity in spirituality or emotional matters that have been hidden or have been ignored. Okay, use this period to question, what do you believe in? What are your practice? What are your habits that may not serve you for your highest good, or help you seek a deeper, more grounded spiritual connection? Now, worldly events that could be happening with this aspect is that you could have deception in media, deception or secrets with politics. Okay, confusion or some scandals. There's some cover-ups. There's some conspiracy theories. Now, Neptune in Pisces is major conspiracy theories. Okay, reliable resources too. And remember, this could be with America. Now, challenges with global health and public safety, with the sign in Virgo highlighting health and routines, and Neptune is in Pisces connected to viruses, diseases, collective fears. There may be a renewed focus on public health issues. Okay, confusion or controversy with this, economic uncertainty and financial scandals. Yes, okay, because we're talking about globally, okay? So there could be like foggy or unclear situations, like the market could be in not stable because you are talking about mutable energy, okay? Like fraud, scams, deceptive energy with finances. Virgo is a tangible thing, so it is an earth sign, so we are dealing with some tangible things. Now there could be some earth elements problems happening, and there could be some water elements. You're talking about bodies of water and mountains, and Virgo is ground. Okay, so there could be that happening. and maybe some damages with the water, and maybe where water meets earth. Where would that be? Like where water is with a mountain. Okay, spiritual movements and escapism, there could be a trend with that. What else do we have happening? Disruptions in travel and navigation. Virgo energy is Mercury is the ruler of Virgo, okay? And when Mercury is the ruler of Virgo, it's going to help you organize some things, okay? So that is what we have with that. Let me see. Yeah, and maybe like transparency, things will be more transparent and be causing a problem globally. Okay, now on the 21st, we have a lot on the 21st, okay? Now on the 21st, Mercury is going to square. So remember Mercury is the planet of that mental health, when Mercury is in the sign Virgo. So we're talking about a lot of mental health here. And it's squaring Jupiter in the sign Gemini. Now, both of these are the ruler of Mercury, so this will be kind of strong for us. This could be feeling like a little Mercury retrograde, okay? However, what you have is a lot of information, an overload of information, and it's coming really, really fast, and it's coming from multiple platforms. Be aware of that, okay? Maybe even changing sides, like you believe this, but do you believe that? Do you believe that? Jupiter is going to give you this belief in things, and Gemini is a lot of information, and you could be flip-flopping a lot, okay? Maybe you could be overly optimistic, you could be arrogant, you could be boastful in speech, maybe you're exaggerating or you're overstating things, okay? Taking on promises that you cannot handle, maybe taking on too much. Okay, so overwhelmed of information. I already said that. And it could be making you a scatterbrain, juggling too many ideas, taking on too many things at once, tendency to overpromise and underdeliver, restlessness and desire for mental stimulation. You're learning, you're exploring, and you need more mental stimulation. Maybe you're intellectually curious, however you are scattered with the focus. That makes me think of when I finish reading a book, I'm like, that was the best book ever, and then I get overly stimulated with trying to find a new book. Is that just me, because I'm comparing it to the old book? Like, I'm like, no, it's too perfect, so I need the best book ever, and then I just have way too many options. Anyway, okay, that could just be me. Is it just me? Let me know. Conflicting communication styles. So details may be lost, messages may be misunderstood, overcritical with that Mercury and Virgo, very overcritical, and too broad and vague for Jupiter and Gemini. Okay. What else we have? Opportunities for learning and growth, because you are talking about knowledge, you are talking about research with that Gemini energy and Mercury in the sign Virgo. Now, worldly, again, we can have some media overload and some miscommunication, conflicts in education and information systems. Transportation, also, we're dealing with transportation with both this Gemini energy and Mercury in the sign Virgo. So there could be some disruptions or delays with that. Remember, I said a tiny little Mercury retrograde could be happening. Okay, so be aware of that. Could be dealing with some social media problems too. Okay, legal issues. I don't know why I have that. Okay, so just take that one out. Okay, global discussions, ethic information could be a problem. Economics too, because Mercury is in charge of some commerce, so that could be a problem. Okay, and remember health, because we are dealing with that Virgo energy and mental health overall around the globe. Okay, so that is what we have for the first one. I do want to mention that the sun is at 29 degrees, and 29 degrees is a potent degree. So in the sign Virgo. So when you have the 29 degrees, there is a culmination. It's like, okay, we are closing off some energy here, and it could be wanting to complete something and making it perfect. There's also heightened attention to detail, heightened focus on details or organization or being efficient or cleaning up stuff or diminishing something, an urge to get things right. That could be happening. Okay. Pressure and urgency, tying loose ends, maybe in your career, maybe in your health, maybe in your organization, maybe in your day-to-day actions, maybe something with your pet or something that you are sacrificing, because this is the planet, the energy of, not the planet, but the energy of being a service to others. Okay, there is also a transition and a change happening with 29 degrees. So you have a transition and a change, maybe with detail orientated approach kind of energy, okay, are being very practical. And now it's changing into Libra, which wants to be more balanced. Okay, so individual tasks and responsibilities individually, and then now you are trying to collaborate with someone. Okay, critical and being very perfectionistic. Okay, that could be overwhelming at that 29 degrees. Okay, remember health and mental health, all that daily routines is going to be like closing up final adjustments with their health routine, and maybe even preparing for a new chapter and leaving some stuff behind that no longer serves you with that Virgo energy. Now, when it is at 29 degrees, not only is it at 29 degrees, but it's also going to square Pluto, which is retrograding in 29 degrees. Let me have a sip of water. When we have that squaring in the sign Pluto, okay, squares are challenges. Okay, I just want you to understand that the squares are challenges. Always have to make sure, like, is the chart showing? I'm not sure why you can't achieve things due to secrets could be happening with this aspects, like flaunting one's sexuality. Okay, because Pluto is about that sex child. Okay, or maybe this shadow energy could be happening. Something that's very taboo could be showing up in a very negative way. Okay, maybe there's obsession, self-expression, and self-celebration, because that sun is about the self and you're being obsessed with, like, look at me, everyone look at me. That could be happening. Okay, so intensity also is very Pluto, right? And Capricorn is about your work and your goals, so there could be some intensity with your work and your goals and achieving it. Or maybe there is some transformation that's going to be very intense. Maybe you're confronting your fears, maybe you're confronting your insecurities in the areas of your life that you feel like you don't have power or that you feel restricted. That could be happening. There's power struggles with this aspect, there's control issues with this aspect, either within yourself or with others. Pressure to achieve or overcome some obstacles, especially with that Capricorn energy. And then you have that Virgo energy wanting to be perfect and having a fear of failure could be happening. Okay, you're probably reevaluating, because remember Pluto is retrograding and you've done this before. Maybe you're reevaluating some goals or your ambitions or something that is dealing with your career and your work. Okay, facing fears in your shadow work, health concerns, and needing to have control. Now that is what you have for the self. Now for the collective, there could be intensity with power struggles and conflicts, maybe with the government, maybe with corporations, maybe with institutions, authority, some resources. The government and economic structural transformations could be happening. There could be a health crisis kind of thing, revaluations of accountability, challenges with authority and leadership. The sun represents leadership. So let's see how the powers and the structures and the government will be with that. Leaders may face challenges to their authorities. Technical and industrial transformations could be happening. Okay, so let's look at September 22nd. And on the 22nd here, we have Venus now is at that 29 degree, which I was just talking about, 29 degrees with the sun, right? And now also too, the sun, I'll talk about this a little bit later, is a potent degree. These are two potent degrees. Just ignore this. This is not pertaining to you. But Venus in that 29 degree is intensity in relationships, okay? Intensity with partnerships and harmony and resolving some relationship issues, making decisions about your partnership, or seeking balance. And this is not a partnership just in love. This could be a partnership with your business partner or whoever you're working with and doing something. And you could bring unresolved matters to a head, okay? Because you're trying to have some closures. There's heightened desire for harmony and balance and fairness, maybe some issues with law. Maybe you're indecisive and now you can't avoid it. You have to confront this because this energy wants to avoid stuff. Okay, urgency is a matter of love and beauty. The aesthetics now is brought to the table, darling. This is looking ugly. Change it up. Okay, decisions about commitment or separation that could be happening. Okay, our artistic and aesthetic peak. Beauty, art, creativity. Create something beautiful, and maybe you're finalizing that project, okay, or refining it. There's transition from superficial energy to a more deeper energy with that Scorpio energy. I love it, okay, because I love the deepness, okay. Potential for last minute making up, and breakups that could be happening, and evaluating justice, that law, legal matters, maybe an agreement, maybe contracts, because that is what that all represents. Now, when Venus is at that 29 degree, again, it will be squaring that Pluto in Capricorn, and Pluto is retrograding. Again, power struggles here, but now you have it in with relationships, or maybe with law, or someone's trying to dominate you or control you. Intense emotional experiences could be happening. There could be a transformation or a rebirth in love. You don't like it though. It's something new, because this is a cardinal square. Cardinal means starting something new. So it's something new and you kind of don't like it. There could be uncovering hidden agendas or secrets, hidden motives, subconscious motives, revelations of hidden agendas or lies or deceit. Uncomfortable truths can be coming to the surface, like addressing issues of trust and honesty or loyalty, or being authentic rather than manipulating me. Say for the people in the back, being authentic instead of manipulating me, because that manipulation, okay, with that Pluto and you falling for it, the loss in the sauce. Okay, anyway, oh, also this is dealing with some money issues too. So this could, both are dealing with some money. So there could be some financial power plays happening or some material concerns happening, challenges to personal or social harmony, psychological, emotional purging could be happening. This is dealing with the deepness here, okay? Especially with father figures or authority figures, or restrictions of power could be happening, and reassessing what you value and your commitments could be happening. Also, this could be dealing with some law. This could be dealing with some beauty, and you're reassessing this, okay? And you're redoing or repeating something, because this is a retrograde happening. Now, that's you individually. Globally, we are having some power struggles, maybe with some diplomatic tensions. We could be having, like I said, Trump changing his VP. That could be happening. Okay. Revelations and corrupt scandals, economic turbulence and financial power plays, social unrest and protests could be happening. Not the protest part, okay, but the social unrest, okay? Power struggles within an alliance, okay? Social justice is really what I should have wrote, because you're dealing with the Venus. So people want their justice and want their fairness. There could be some legal or ethical things happening publicly that we will see, like a court case or a corporate responsibility or a government being accountable for something. Artistic and cultural transformations that could be happening. Environmental resource conflicts over resources, environmental climate change kind of issues, intensified efforts for social reforms. So you're talking about fairness for LGBTQ rights. Plus, did I say it right? That could be happening. Now you're talking about a team and fairness and equality for something that doesn't normally have its equality. That is basically what I mean. Okay. Also, it could be a transformation for global power structures like leadership policies, public demand for greater fairness and transparency. Okay. Now, let me talk about the fall equinox. And when you have the fall equinox, and that is when we have that sun entering Libra there, whenever you have the equinox, you're talking about it's the day and the night are going to be equal in time. And now there is a balance, an equilibrium. And now that is what we will be seeking as a collective. Okay. Libra season is got the scales of balance. It's about relationship, it's about harmony, it's about justice, beauty, partnerships, negotiations, conflicts, negotiating contracts, evaluating relationships, and seeking fairness. It's also about harvest and gratitude. So you are celebrating the abundance and you're giving thanks, hence Thanksgiving, right? Completion of growth in cycles. Reflect on what you have harvested and express gratitude. Now, it's also a transition of letting go. It's a transition period, and reflecting energy, letting go of what no longer serves you, releasing old habits, because it's almost like starting a new year, but it's starting a new season. Okay. And you are also preparing for winter. Now, if you are a farmer, you will understand. But if you're not, winter is approaching and you prepare for months ahead. A lot of people do this by getting their cold clothes, getting their sweaters. I'm trying to make it not so make it understandable for modern times, but there are ways that you are doing this and you're not realizing this. Now, you can also set your intentions here, reflect on a year's lesson, talk about the self-care and a work that you need to do, prepare for the 3 months that you have going up ahead with this fall. And there also could be some spiritual and some inner reflection happening here. You could do some rituals. People have their rituals. There's a lot of worldly cultural events that happen, like we have Thanksgiving, but a lot of people celebrate the equinox. I do want you to understand that, okay? So yeah, now while the sun is in Libra, the same things. We are talking about balance and harmony and partnerships and being diplomatic. You're talking about aesthetics and the appreciation of aesthetics. You're talking about social awareness, and you're talking about you want to have peace and calm. Now, the negative parts of the sun being in Libra is that people are very superficial, they're indecisive, they're avoiding conflict, they're people pleasing. Also, they could be very dependent on others because it's such a relationship based kind of thing. Passive aggressiveness and over concerned with appearance, okay, instead of really trying to comprehend the reality of who cares about what you look like, okay? Now, I want to talk about what the sun will be doing quickly, the aspects, what the sun will be doing on the 28th. The sun will be opposing the North Node. So there is going to be this tug of war of what you need to achieve in your future and what you need to release. On the 30th, the sun will be conjunct Mercury. So there could be some clarity intellectually, or maybe some clear communication happening. Important conversations and contracts definitely could be signed, right? On October 2nd is when we have the solar annual eclipse in Libra. I discussed that already, but there are some endings and new beginnings and cycles that could be happening with relationships, partnerships, justice, and balance. Okay, what else do we have? October 6th, the sun is going to quincunx Saturn, and Saturn is going to be retrograding. So, addressing deeper, more elusive responsibilities and thinking more long term, and it's going to cause some tension. Quincunx is not comfortable. Okay, now the sun will be squaring Mars on the 14th, and when you have the sun squaring Mars, that means that, well, two things are going to happen. First of all, Mars will be pre-shadow phase of the retrograde. So that's already kind of not, sorry, all my cancers, I'm feeling it a little bit, but that's already going to be some arguments. And maybe you're impatient, or maybe there's aggressive behavior. Maybe the mom's taking out on the kids, or maybe whoever is the authority figure who provides the safety is taking out on the people that they take care of. Or there's something in regards of home that's having some arguments. That same day, though, the sun will be trining Jupiter. So that's very expansive and very optimistic. And this is also dealing with some law, too, that could be taken care of. And there's hope and opportunities, and there's balance. It's positive. So you have the square, but you also have the positivity. And I'm hoping that will shine bigger than the actual achieving things. But the Mercury, Mars is pre-shadow phase on the 5th, retrograding. Now on the 19th, the sun is going to quincunx Uranus. And now on the 19th, the desire for stability and balance is not going to feel, it's like, okay, so now I want this balance, and there's this surprise that's happening, and it's not making me feel quite right. There's a readjustment, and yeah, with the surprise, I don't like it. On the 20th, the sun is going to quincunx Neptune, so there's some confusion here, and that confusion causes some uncomfortability. Okay, maybe there's uncertainty or lack of clarity. On the 22nd, the sun will be at 29 degrees in the sign Libra, and we talked about that potent degree, right? And then there will be a potent urgency to have balance, or have fairness, or justice, or harmony. Okay. Now, and then too, remember that 29 degrees, it will square Pluto in the sign Capricorn. And when you have that squaring of the Pluto, this is pretty big. Okay. So the 22nd, that squaring could be forces of power. There is definitely some power struggles, some control issues, or the need for deep structural change. Okay. Confrontations, significant shifts in political or corporate power structures. I'll break that down as we get into it a little bit deeper, but those are the aspects of the sun. Lastly, I'm going to talk about Venus entering in the sign Scorpio. And when Venus enters in the sign Scorpio, we will have some intense energy here. Okay. Now, let me actually show you this too. Venus is in the sign Scorpio, and it's more it happens on the 22nd in the evening, but you would definitely see it. You see it already hits 1, and then when it hits 1, I think it has an aspect here. What does it have? Oh, that is 1. Okay, so maybe it doesn't. But when Venus enters the sign Scorpio, there's deep emotional intensity and passion, okay? Soulful, transformative, deeply engaged energy. Jealousy could be happening here. Be aware of this. You could be obsessed with something, like obsessed with a celebrity or obsessed with an aesthetic, and maybe possessive too. There's transformation and rebirth in relationships, facing the shadow side, exploring power dynamics and control, maybe with a partner or business partner. There's something with law here, and you being dependent on a contract financially, that could be brought up. Desire for authenticity, truth, honesty, emotional transparency, hidden truths are brought to the surface. Focus on loyalty and commitment, deep, unwavering devotion, okay? Possessiveness or fear of betrayal, making it essential to trust and communicate openly with a partner. Those things could be happening. Heightened attraction to someone, or someone is very alluring, especially with that Venus and Scorpio. Financial transformation and investments. I talked about that earlier. Reassessing joint account and investments, or an inheritance, or taxes, or debts. All that could be coming up with that Venus in Scorpio. Oh, also exploring taboo things and hidden desires. Like you're talking about tarot and loving tarot. Whenever Venus is in Scorpio, I get all the tarot cards. Okay, that is for me. But things that are unknown or forbidden are very transformative. You're talking about psychology, astrology, tarot, spirituality, hidden aspects of life. You're going to naturally attract them, or you are going to be attracted to them. Now, on a global or collective aspect, this could be intensifying some social dynamics or relationships. Okay, things that are deep rooted, and there's conflicts, all right, like political power struggles. It's going to be reevaluating. I don't want to say because we're not talking about a retrograde, but there's a valuation of it. Okay, revelation, maybe is that the word? Revelation, just a transformation with economy and our financial systems definitely could be happening. Increased focus on privacy, security, and control. uh, Something brought up with social justice majorly, and really trying to redo it and restructure it, because you're talking about a transformation. Okay, things that are taboo, those subjects will be explored and bigger, and maybe will be in the news, right? You're talking about sexuality, you're talking about death, rebirth, psychological trauma. These conversations, the social media, maybe even artistic expressions will be displaying that. Okay, you're talking about intensity too with Scorpio. So parties that are very intense. You're like, how did I come to this party and we are getting deep? What is going on? Those things will be happening while Venus is in a sign Scorpio. Potential for conflict over resources and values, shared resources, financial power, conflicts over wealth, natural resources, economic policies, finance, huge. Okay, globally could be discussed, and things like a partner, like a country dependent on another country for resources. Okay, that could be happening. And yeah, it could be some healing as a collective, and some regeneration happening too. So that is what you have now. Quickly, and this will be the last thing. I was going to talk about the politics of Trump and Kamala. I will do theirs tomorrow when I do the horoscopes, okay? And really go over everything for them. But Venus entering Scorpio, I want to talk about the aspects of that. Now, on the 28th of Venus in a sign Scorpio, should I show it? No, I'll just say it real quick, okay? Venus on the 28th, Venus in Scorpio is going to quincunx the North Node. Now you're talking about your fate, right? And now what you naturally attract, what you naturally desire, this transformation, this urge for independence, and assertion, and this self-assertion is not working, and that is what you're supposed to be pursuing in the future. Okay, so desire for transformation, connections, and your urge to be independent, it's not working. You're supposed to release some relationship here, and it's just not seeing eye to eye, and it's making you uncomfortable. Okay, now Venus is going to trine Saturn, and Saturn is retrograding in the sign Pisces. So there's stability and commitment and long-term focus here, and serious, enduring relationships, and realistic financial planning. making commitments, solidifying partnership. That is great. That's going to be very positive. That's on the 4th. Now, on the 8th, Venus is also going to trine Mars. This is positive. So, you achieving the love in a partnership and having a deeper emotional bonds and asserting your needs in caring and nurturing ways. Positive, mutual support and understanding, collaborative efforts. Emotional healing all works. Now, on the 10th, it gets negative. Venus is going to quincunx Jupiter. Jupiter is still positive, so maybe it won't be so uncomfortable, but there'll be adjustment between desire for emotional deepness and expansion for being optimistic, okay? Or exploring something deep or comfort or growth or abundance. It's not going to work out. And Cancer and Scorpio could be dealing with some money too. Cancer signs are like the most money making signs because they believe in stability and they want the comfort. Okay. They want to feel stable. Now, on the 14th, Venus is going to oppose Uranus. Uranus is retrograding too. So, emotional security and this deepness for emotional security and a desire for freedom and independence. There may be sudden unexpected changes in a relationship or financial matters, and maybe you have to reevaluate what you value. On the 15th, Venus is going to trine Neptune. So this is positive. So deep spiritual, emotional connections and creativity and compassion and idealism and romance and your intuition and dreaming, all that is going to be very positive. You could be doing some creative projects, spiritual practices, deepening your emotional bonds, very compassionate around the world with humanitarian efforts. Okay. On the 17th, Venus is going to be at 29 degrees. It's going to sextile Pluto at Capricorn. And remember that 29 degrees is a transition. It's a very strong degree. So be aware of that. But there's intensity with emotional endings and beginnings. Sextile is positive, but you're going to have to do the work for something. It's positive. So maybe you want this transformation, especially with the Scorpio and the Pluto. There could be some transformation. There could be some power dynamics here, a rebirth of something. However, you have to work for it, and it's going to be very intense, especially with that 29 degrees. On the 18th, Venus will enter Sagittarius, and then it will leave that intensity and go into more freedom, exploration, and more open-minded energy. Okay, so that is what we have for Venus and how that's going to look for us. Get ready for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow, I will be here tomorrow, and I will be talking about Trump with the Sun in Libra, how that's going to affect Trump, and Venus and Scorpio, how that's going to affect him. I'm also going to talk about Kamala and how the Sun in Libra, which she is a Libra Sun, is going to affect her. It is a lot of stuff. So hold on tight for that video. And then I would do the horoscopes tomorrow too. Let me actually, because I love to pull tarot for everyone, let me pull tarot and for the collective and how it will affect you this week. How will your week be affected? Ooh, everyone's going to be making that money, money, money. It is Virgo energy. There was a lot of Pluto energy too, but there is all about the money and thinking long term. Think long term because we have that Pluto retrograde in the sign Capricorn, but this is someone who's going to think long term. They're going to be serious about their money. They're going to save their money. They're going to be thinking about their tangible items. They're going to be very practical and grounded. Okay. Moving slow, paying attention to details, paying attention to your health. That is what we all need to focus on this week. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.